Hello and welcome to the weekly Kashmir University Veer Digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. Biotechnology Department organizes first annual research meet. Scholars discuss fundamentals on drug designing. International conference on Silk Route held. University observes National Science Day. And Islamic Studies discusses spirituality and social justice in Islam. Now the details of these events with your host Umar Malik. The Department of Biotechnology organized the first annual research meet. The theme of the two-day research meet was on recent trends in molecular and cellular biology. In his inaugural speech, Head Biotechnology Department Professor Khalid Majid Fazli said that the vision of this center is to become a globally recognized center of excellence.
And the mission of our department has been to impart quality training in biotechnology education and research, and also to provide a strong infrastructural base and facilitate research in different areas of biological sciences in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And this mission of ours is in consonance with the mission of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, where a part of the mission is to empower scientifically and technologically the country's incomparable human resource, and also to create a strong infrastructure for research, development, and commercialization for a robust bioeconomy.
Dean Research Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi said that he is hopeful that organizing such workshops would fructify in research collaborations.
I hope and expect that you will sow a seed today here, and then this seed will flourish into a very robust tree through mutual cooperation, through collaborations, which will sustain over a period of time. And the fruits of this mutual collaboration and cooperation would be cherished by not only us, but all those who would join the portals of this department and this university in future as well. I mean, your coming over to this place is very important for us. Reason being that because of several reasons, our students, our faculty does not go out to attend conferences. There are issues of funding, then there are other issues as well. And then once you come, that you provide an opportunity to a very large number of our students and faculty to interact.
Lauding the Biotechnology Department in bringing a number of scholars to this workshop, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed said that he would like to have collaborations with many reputed institutions.
We have now something called IUAC in Delhi, where we have lots of instrumentation which can be used by any area, whether it is earth sciences or physical sciences or biological sciences. I'm going to have some sort of collaboration with them, sort of MOU where people can go and work. There already some sort of interaction already going on. And same way with the Indian Institute of Sciences and maybe IISER Pune and many other places. So I will be very happy and encourage the students and the faculty if they bring collaboration, bring colleagues and share their knowledge.
A one-day workshop on fundamentals on drug designing was organized by the Department of Bioinformatics. Dean Academic Affairs Professor Musaddiq Amin Sahab said that in pharmaceuticals, India is doing well globally.
But India, in terms of the domestic companies, are not doing well. Despite the fact that Government of India is pumping almost a huge investment every year in this area to push this as a successful commercial venture. But when we compare the results of those investments with the Chinese investment, we immediately realize that our investment program has not been successful. There could be many reasons. And one of the reasons long back identified by the experts was perhaps today's topic, that's what we see, the bioinformatics. drug designing, because this particular bioinformatics plays an important role in the drug designing. If at all we are not able to compete with the global players, perhaps this could be one of the major reasons.
Assistant Professor SCOST Kashmir Dr. Shabir Ahmed Ganai said that using bioinformatics means that one is fighting any disease with intelligence.
To me, it is a sort of intelligence. For example, if two countries are fighting a battle, and if one country fights that battle with intelligence, what is the weak point of the enemy? Definitely we will succeed in the battle. But at the same time, if that information is wrong, definitely we have to suffer significantly. I think using bioinformatics, it is fighting battle with intelligence. That means if your bioinformatics procedure is itself wrong, then you have to suffer. Your molecular biology, other things will be wrong. But if it is here right, we will be successful.
Head Department of Bioinformatics Professor Khalid Majid Fazli presented the welcome address, while as Associate Professor Biotechnology Department Dr. Ehtishamul Haq proposed the vote of thanks. The Center for Central Asian Studies organized a two-day international conference on Silk Route, Historical and Contemporary Relevance. Assistant Professor of CCAS Dr. Wahid presented the welcome address.
नासारदा देशम पास्य दृष्टस्य तेषाम यदंत मया पुर्रुआ। ये वर्ष कल्हण के कंटेम्प्रेरी विल्हण का है, जो कश्मीरी कवि थे, पटन के रहने वाले, और उन्होंने कश्मीर की खूबसूरती को इसमें बयान किया है कि कश्मीर में ये तीन सगे भाई हैं, फूल, जाफरान और यहाँ की जो कविताएं, जो लिटरेचर लिखा जाता है, इन तीनों चीज़ों को शारदा यानी कश्मीर देश को छोड़कर मैंने कहीं नहीं देखा। प्राकृतिक रूप से कश्मीर सुंदर है। कश्मीर के राजाओं का इतिहास कश्मीर की सुंदरता को और भी अधिक सुंदर कर देता है। कश्मीर का काव्य सृजन व यहाँ की काव्य गाथाएँ भी कम सुंदर नहीं हैं। कश्मीर में समय समय पर एक ही प्रकार के अनेक तूफान आए, परंतु कोई भी तूफान कश्मीर की काव्यलता को झकझोर न सका।
Former Dean Academic Affairs Professor Mohammad Ashraf Wani said that composite culture is not formed in a decade but takes centuries to develop.
Actually, this is the history of all cultures. The history of all culture is the history of composite culture. Composite culture जो है, this is a reality of cultures. क्योंकि cultures grow, evolve, they grow with the changing circumstances, with technological changes, with ideological changes, with changes in intellectual development, because of endogenous and exogenous influence factors. And at no stage there has been a complete break with the past. Cultures have always been a synthesis of old and new.
Saying that confusions do arise in understanding the composite culture, Dean Academic Affairs Professor Musaddiq Amin Sahaf said that Sufism is part of Islam.
It is not correct that we share conventions, customs. That's not the fact. So that needs to be investigated and clearly mentioned, because that does not go with the majority of the people. And it is injustice with the majority if we suggest that is a composite culture. Now the question is how it came to the people to live together. Was there any other alternative? And at the same time, we consider the present theme, that is the Sufism. And one impression is being created that Sufis are different than the Muslims. Ulama. No, whatever they say, generally it is. But when I understand it, I say if a Muslim is not Sufi, he ceases to be the member of Islam. That can we really define the composite culture the way it has been defined, or it needs to be modified?
Speaking on the sidelines of Function, Director Central Asian Studies Professor G.N. Khaki said that This conference was organized keeping in view the growing intolerance.
And this concept of composite culture that has been advocated through centuries by these distinguished scholars, I'm sure will go a long way in realizing a dreamness of oneness of mankind. This is in fact in continuation to the teachings of the religions and the significant verses of Holy Quran, where under Holy Quran has said, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ. They have thy Lord so willed, he would have created you in one single community, and there would have been no diversions, but he did otherwise of it. Whole mankind is one mankind, and this dream of oneness of mankind has been realized and contributed and identified distinguished scholars of Kashmir itself. Both Lal Ded and Sheikhul Alam have, through their numerous verses in poetic compositions, have proved it, that when Sheikhul Alam says, Musalman ke Hindan kar bandhan tosh khudai.
The National Science Day 2019 was observed with a day-long seminar on communicating science for all. The Department of Pharmaceutical, in association with J&K State Science Technology and Innovation Council, organized this seminar. Associate Professor of Pharmaceutical Department Dr. Mubashir Hussain Masoodi presented the inaugural remarks of the seminar.
The day is of great importance for the national scientific community, and in 1986, NCTSC, National Council for Science and Technology Communication, took an initiative to get the Government of India to designate February 28th as National Science Day. And the program was initiated by the department with a vision such as to promote scientific thinking, to stimulate scientific and technological temper, to trigger science popularization activities throughout the country, and to disseminate scientific education about the current issues of science and technology.
Head Pharmaceutical Department Professor Zulfikar Ali Bhatt in his welcome address stressed the need of updating scientific and technological advancements.
Science and technology has become the most important drivers of the economy of the nation. With globalization and WTO in place, those countries which do not update themselves with latest scientific and technological advancements will fall behind. National Science Day holds great significance for Indian science and scientific community. There are fairs, exhibitions conducted all over the country where visitors interact freely with scientists.
Dean School of Applied Sciences and Technology Professor Farooq Ahmed Masoodi said that this day is celebrated to popularize the science.
This day, as my colleagues Professor Zulfikar and Dr. Masoodi said, that it is celebrated to commemorate the Raman and his effect. And at the same time, another dimension of this celebration is popularization of science. To what extent here in the state of Jammu and Kashmir or here in the valley of Kashmir, how much we are engaged in popularization of science. So it's a general feeling or it's an observation that if we as researchers, if we get engaged, if we get involved in popularization of science or in popularization of our own work, definitely we will enjoy it.
Dean Research Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi said that he feels that communicating science to the people is important so that scientific research is taken by many people.
I am a person who just does not believe in this, that good science necessarily has to be relevant to society. I do not believe in this. Reason being that how many of you would disagree with me that Albert Einstein was not a good scientist? None. Everybody would agree with me that Albert Einstein was a good scientist. What E is equal to MC square has given to society? Nothing. But still, I mean, even if E is equal to MC square has not given anything to society, but still then he is a big, basically, scientist. Agreed? Or for that matter, what mathematics is going to give to society on the face of it? Nothing. Right? And then world's topmost mathematicians you will have with Google for that artificial intelligence. Who was knowing, I mean, when Watson and Crick were working on novel, I mean, this DNA structure, they had just curiosity to know about the basis of life. They were never knowing that there would be a thriving economic enterprise of biotechnology. They never knew it. And I must tell you that a child sees much larger world if he rests on the shoulders of his parents.
A two-day international seminar on spirituality and social justice in Islam, challenges and prospects was organized by the Shah Hamdan Institute of Islamic Studies. Head Department of Islamic Studies Professor Manzoor Ahmed presented the welcome address.
The scholars likely to contribute in this seminar present a wide range of academic disciplines. They hail from Islamic studies, education, religious studies, social work, Arabic, zoology, psychology, Hindi, political science, theology, Persian, Urdu, sociology, economics, history, media education, management studies and English.
Senior Professor of Islamic Studies Department Dr. Abdul Rashid Butt commented on the importance of the theme.
The theme is of vital importance as both spirituality and social justice form the fundamental aspects of life. One deals chiefly with esotericus batin and the other with exotericus zahir of a man. Spirituality is to seek deep devotion to God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in forming specific actions and deeds with the value of justice. In the Quranic terms, they are described as tazkiyah and adl or qist respectively. Tazkiyah aims at taqwa-based purification of one's self and justice forms balance and peace in social practices.
Delivering the keynote address, former Head Islamic Studies Department at Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi, Professor Ishtiaq Dani said that in Islam, objective of all our activities is to follow the message of Allah.
In Islam, the pinnacle of spirituality is to establish or to find or to attain what we call in Urdu or in Arabic, Ta'alluq Billah. This is something very important. The objective of all our activities, whether spiritual activities or even material activities, is always to follow the message of Allah. And that we do by following His message and by establishing a very strong personal relationship with God. We become God conscious. You see, when we pray, when we recite Surah Fatiha, we are conscious that there are people around us and it is a collective prayer. We say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, it is a na, we. But when we prostrate, when we do our ruku and when we do our sajda, it becomes very personal. Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Ala. It is Rabbi, personal. So from the we go to the personal, individual. And this is something very important. So both are very important. The we and me, both are important. And at certain level, when I become God conscious, I also become conscious of my responsibilities towards the fellow human being, towards the society I am living in.
Registrar Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir said that Islam does not believe in any ism other than the brotherhood.
And it is believed and again also believe that living into the space of connection is how to create more kind, just and equitable world. The values of our faith call us to help create a world of justice in which all people are accorded their basic human rights and our communities transcend divisions of class, race, nationality and many other isms, what we call, that can separate us.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor Musaddiq Amin Sahab said that Islam consistently asks man to introspect.
Tell me one family in Kashmir when a daughter is born in a family and we celebrate. That can be only an exception. And still we say we are the followers of Rasulullah. It cannot take place. We have to introspect our inner and think in terms of completely purification. And once that purification will take place, then there is a possibility we can be real Muslims. We are facing tough time in the world this time. It is only because we are not Muslims. One of the challenges with us is cultural differences. In Kashmir, this is a cultural difference that a man is always considered superior to female. which is not acceptable to Islam and which is not teaching of Islam.
That's all for today's episode. Log on to website emmrckashmir.com where you can check the latest episode of The Quest. You can also watch it on our YouTube channel, that is KU Television. Do send us your valuable suggestions at our email address, that is quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. The brave may fall, but never yield.